be clean to start, and then we're still gonna test you. And he didn't make it. He showed up the day he was like, my piss is hotter than hell. I'm using everything. I'm using what BJ Penn used. I'm using what John Jones used. I'm using what everybody. Tito, Chuck, I'm on all of it.
God damn.
Yep.
Well, I mean, at least the positive side, his.
When I knock people out, they don't fucking move. Who the fuck is that guy? Oh, don't be scared, homie.
Welcome to Throwing Hands.
You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park, the ponytail.
My balls are hot.
All right, guys, let's have another episode. Let's have another fun episode of Throwing Hands podcast. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining us again this week. Throwing Hands podcast, you know what it is. We're here to judge the craziness, the bullshit, and the Octagon control, and everybody's feeling real relaxed today, I guess.
Well, I did have time to make a big steak.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. 2 minutes per side. Grill marks. S&P.
Pan marks.
Yeah.
We don't have a grill, but
You got to get one of those.
Minutes inside.
The pans that
Garlic
give you the grill
onions.
marks. You know what I'm talking about?
no, I don't like those.
I don't like those either. I've never quite understood. I've understood them for like a width and length of pan for like cooking a lot of things, but I've never understood it for the ridges. I never quite understood how that helps.
It just gives you grill marks, but they're not real.
That's the sell at the meeting. And this seems like every other pan. What's different from your pan to other pans? Grill marks, bud.
Grill marks, bud.
Yeah. See, this is why people watch this MMA podcast. I thought about this the other day. I'm like, people, what would make you want to watch? There's MMA podcasts with like Anthony Smith and Michael Bisping and John Anik and all these other guys, but we got the jokes, and we talk about grill marks.
Grill mark.
And also, I mean, I'm on Darnell's side with this. They don't have any blacks on their episodes either. They have no blacks on there.
Oh, man.
Okay, guys. We have a lot to get into and not a lot of time today. So let's talk about the passing card. Marvin Vettori versus Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier pulls away the decision on, I mean, what I expected out of the fight. Boring. Now let me be a little bit real about that. Boring to the extent of like they're both heavy knockout power. Jared Cannonier has great wrestling and barely got to see a lot of that on display. As the announcers would say, this is what you get when you get two guys who are major threats and respect each other a lot. I saw it as boring.
Marvin doesn't have knockout power.
Marvin definitely. I mean, you can't say that to a guy who's knocked out people before. You can't say
He has one knockout compared to Jared's like 8 or some shit.
I don't think comparison gives somebody no knockout power, but you're right. Jared
Just
Cannonier
saying.
has knockout power for sure.
More of it. Well, he's probably
More.
just showed it.
I don't
a
know.
little
Have
more.
they both hit the knockout punch machine together? I need to see it.
But yeah, and on top of that, Jared coming all the way down from heavyweight to middleweight, which is fucking
Ridiculous.
crazy that he did that shit.
Ridiculous.
Like he really just said, "Yo, this fat shit ain't for me," and lost weight.
Shouts out to him, cutting straight back down to shredded Jared Cannonier. But still, I don't mean to give like a casual fan's perspective on this, but it doesn't generate enough excitement from the fight. You know what I mean? And that's not necessarily their job, but it helps them a lot if they can. And via post-fight speech and an in-fight, nobody's excited for these dudes to take on Izzy.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure what I said last week. I'm pretty sure Cannonier is going to be a slightly more exciting fight, but it's just going to be a repeat.
Well, now we know as they said that night, that whoever won last night, which Jared Cannonier, he's going to get I think they say he's going to get the winner of whoever wins between. It's either whoever wins between Duplessis and Whitaker, or whoever gets they get the winner of the winner from that against Adesanya. But I think it's the winner of like Whitaker and Duplessis. I'm pretty sure.
Better get his fucking dancing shoes on if he wants that belt. Then I'm talking about Duplessis because I'm not trying to see Rob fight him again. Not really trying to see Jared because that's a third fight and then a second fight.
Yeah.
versus a guy who's at least gone through the ranks to be able to challenge. So
Right. We all definitely would. I mean, think preferably just like as an overall people would want to see a newer fight. With exception, but for this, yeah, definitely a newer fight. Everybody wants to see Izzy have a new guy who's just going to throw caution to the wind, which is definitely Duplessis. It's going to be exciting. It was a slower card for the most part, except for, of course, one of my picks, Jimmy Flick. He got knocked out, which sucked, against Alessandro Costa. Let's see. Was there anybody or any fight on here that stood out to you guys?
2 fights that were funny.
2 fights that were funny.
The Carlos Hernandez fight. The ref was Keith Peterson.
Oh,
Oh wait, no, that was a different fight that he called. Oh, that got even called a no contest. So there's that.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say you're
then,
talking about the
and Ronnie Lawrence.
Arguda.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but besides that, the Carlos Hernandez shit. So that was one fuck up already. And then Carlos Hernandez, he slams his dude. They call it an accidental headbutt on the way down.
Which is insane.
Meanwhile, there's 3 seconds on the clock, and this man is just getting elbowed. It's like, nah, bro, that was a KO.
It was KO.
We've seen him before, but okay, GG's, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the second fight that was funny. This was Keith Peterson being the referee here, and Armin Saryukin just absolutely devastating this man for like a clean 30 seconds on top, and he's just struggling, and Keith just won't call it. It's like, bro, you've seen him go like half limp.
That's because he up on tap
that's
out.
why it was funny, because it was just like he's trying to make sure he don't fuck up this time.
Get rid of him.
Two big ref fuck ups for the
Fucking
night.
Wild.
The
same guy.
I've never once seen.
Didn't one of the fighters, I forget which fight it was, but one of them was like, he smelled like cigarettes and whiskey.
Oh, that was Dominic Cruz when he got that pretty kind of early stoppage from fucking Henry Cejudo when they fought for the 135 belt.
Right.
He said that about Keith Peters.
Yeah.
Like right after that fight, bro, that shit was gold.
I mean, I get it. I like both of those things, but at work, probably just cigarettes.
And maybe one shot of whiskey. I couldn't. In the first time, I would say in UFC history, where there's 2 guys who are in the action of striking and getting a headbutt, that's one thing. But in the action of I've grappled you, I've thrown you, and our heads collide on the way down, absolutely not. That's fair game. That's 100%. I took him down. I did the thing. So what if our heads collide? He was out because I threw him there, not because our heads collided. Ian, was there any fights that, or just kind of what Darnell talked about was kind of what stuck out to you?
Pretty much the ref calls. What did Pat Simbani? He got a submission. What was that by? Were we even watching this fight?
I don't remember it.
Sabatini. Oh yeah, Darnell, when'd you fall asleep in this card? Updates.
Yeah, we forgot to ask.
I didn't.
Oh, good for you. Darnell is now 1-4 against his bed.
1-4 against the CPs.
Here's what I can say: great card for up and coming. Some of these guys who are still trying to make names for themselves. I mean, a decent amount of KOs and submissions. Manuel Torres, like I said, Jimmy Flick gets knocked out. Kyung Ho Kang gets a submission in round 1, and I mean, yeah. Besides some controversies, what else could you ask for from just a nice little free card? Supposedly, free card if you subscribe to ESPN Plus,
which we all do,
of course. Let's go ahead and move on to next week's card, guys. Next week is actually a really big banger. First of all, Josh Emmett, whom is one of the best featherweights, one of the best lower weight class guys. Always kind of runs into speed bumps at the very top. He seems to always get fed to the top guys and loses, but here's his chance to, or as they would say, the Georgians' chance as well to start rising up the ranks. So not a big contender fight, but more of a rank rising fight. What do you guys got? Josh Emmett or
Ilya?
Ilya?
Yep.
Ilya Topuria?
Topuria? Deborah?
Topuria.
I don't know, but I got him.
He is a beast.
Man,
I was watching the highlights for his fights earlier today because they were this fight's coming up, so they're showing the highlights. But I don't think it. First of all, Josh Emmett, he's got new tats. He's fresh tatted up in his picture.
I was gonna say those tattoos look dope.
So you know what that means? That means he's ready to go.
Hopefully. How old is Josh Emmett?
He
I think
consistent.
he's in his 30s, maybe.
He consistently looks like Skeletor.
He's 38.
Really? Dang.
Holy shit!
I thought he was younger than that. Crazy.
I'm looking forward to
Those
the.
tattoos aren't new.
They just look brighter in his photo. I don't know.
They do. That's wild.
Maybe the more depleted he looks, the more his tattoos pop. I guess.
The more hydration.
Like, what does he cut from? What does he cut from? 205? What the fuck? I mean, like, what is this?
I'll say he looks a lot better with a beard.
It's the only thing that makes him look better. It's the only thing. I'm gonna go with Josh Emmett over the Georgian Ilya. I mean, it's definitely a pretty even fight in my opinion. I think the grappling's pretty on par. I think Ilya's striking is going to be way more crisp, way more stronger than Josh Emmett. But Josh Emmett has a very Frankie Edgar, Gray Maynard style of fighting, to where it's just one of those. He gets backed up against a lot of these fighters have this. They like to get backed up against the cage and then throw big bombs. That's really what it is. And Josh Emmett has that plus a single leg. What are you gonna do? Macy Barber, Amanda Ribas. I'm actually pretty excited for this fight just because I do like Macy Barber. I think she's pretty good. She's shown some good stuff. Also, I don't know who Amanda Ribas is, so I'm looking forward to. I'm assuming they're gonna show highlights of this bitch dominating, but I don't know. I just know Macy Barber.
Why does it say they're both number 11?
Contender fight.
No idea.
Contender fight for number 11. I don't know. I wish they would do more things like that. They'd hype us up for like random. If they were like, and don't forget this Saturday fighting for the number 9 spot or whatever. Like, I'd be hyped up for that.
Shouldn't that how? Fuck me, goddamn.
Take two.
Isn't that how it should be though? Like ranked fighting, like you're fighting for that rank, and so like the guy below you can challenge you, and then you guys switch in rank, and then like if some random person challenges you, you fucking drop off in rank.
It's sometimes how it goes, but the thing is that when they do rankings, they also take into activity, like how often you're fighting,
how many jumping jacks you can do.
Oh,
like,
it's because Amanda Ribas is fighting up because she's ranked 11 at strawweight. Okay, that makes sense.
Got it.
But speaking of strawweights, some news that came out earlier: Tatiana Suarez and Jessica Andrade is going to fight. That's going to be fun. Another tall grappler for Jessica. It's like, oh, bro, you're not getting any breaks.
No, they're gonna shoot her out of the UFC with stuff like that.
Neil Magny on the prelims.
Neil Magny and Phil Rowe having the fight of the uncles at the barbecue. I mean,
seriously, the sketchy uncles at the barbecue.
This is going to be a weird, scrappy fight. I mean, it is going to be awkward as all hell, but it's going to be a good fight. Phil Rowe fights almost essentially just like Neil Magny. They're the same guy. Randy
Justin Taffa fight's going to be great.
Justin Taffa fight is going to be amazing. You kidding me? It's going to be great. I didn't want to bring it up because the Austin Lane guy is grayed out, so I wasn't too sure if this is going to happen or not.
I don't know. Hopefully it does.
Also,
no, he got added to the UFC roster today. That's
that guy, Austin Lane. Maybe that's why he's in gray.
I swear that's. Yeah, they usually have him gray or have no picture, and it's like, why the fuck put it then? Just leave it blank until you get to it.
I like that they have the Kazakhstanian guy that Darnell was talking about last week. They've updated his photo to.
He does. He has the patty.
Yeah, he's got the patty photo now on UFC.
Hey.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, is this a different guy? Who the fuck is this guy? So obviously we're all gonna go for the patty lookalike, obviously. Cedric Dumas. I'm here. Let me say this: the last time Cedric Dumas fought, they were putting a big hype behind him, and me and Ian gave him all the negativity as we should to say that this guy, I hope he fucking falls on his fucking face because I don't know why they just hype up these dudes But they're like, isn't he great? Look at him. He looks like he doesn't give a shit. Like, isn't he awesome? And then he got fucking flopped. He got submitted in his first fight, and now he's back against Cody Brundage. Here's the thing, though. I think he's gonna dominate Cody Brundage. I'm pretty sure he's he's taller. He's fucking longer. His leg reach is pretty much the same, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna. This is feeding him. He's at the bottom of the prelims. This is his chance. If he doesn't beat this guy, if he doesn't beat Cody Brundage, buddy, you're on your way out. Jack Jenkins versus Jamal Emmers. Not often will you hear me pick Not often will you hear me pick a Australian over an American, but Jack Jenkins is that guy. Jack Jenkins is that dude. I love watching Jack Jenkins
fight. His mustache and haircut.
It's enough for me already. That's what sold us on him in the beginning with his mustache and haircut. And then he's just a scrappy dude, man. Scrappy dude. Yeah, he's only got the decision up against Sheamus, but boy, I remember that fight. Great fucking fight. Jamal Emmers, we'll see what you got, bud. We'll see what you got.
See how it works out.
I'm picking fight of the night to be Neil Magny versus Phil Rowe. I think they're definitely gonna. I think Justin Taffa's gonna and Austin Lane are gonna have a good chance of stealing that, but I feel like they might take knockout of the night. But I'm saying for sure, Neil Magny, Phil Rowe. Look out for fight of the night on that one.
I'd have to agree.
There we go. Wow, look at us, all in agreement. Wow, look at us, throwing hands team. All right, well, this week, yet another UFC card. You have our picks. Let's see your picks down in the comments. Let us know what you think of our picks as well, and let us know what has been going on for you in the combat world and what you think of throwing hands. Before we move on to our favorite segment, of course, towards the end of the episode, I have quite the amount of things that have been going on my computer here in the MMA world. First and foremost, kind of coming off of what we were looking at. Sometimes a lot of episodes, like we said, there's a card where we don't know a lot of the fighters, or it's a slow card. Sometimes there's some fighters you do know, and there's just not a lot happening. And then, of course, a lot of times we've had this debate and conversation, and it's a conversation in MMA a lot of the women fights, where me and Ian consistently go like, we're not fans. Like if it's not one of the bigger names, like it's boring to us. It's almost they have the highest rate of decision fighting. It's not our thing, but some people don't like Darnell, and other people they're like, well, I like a lot of these women, and that's fine. So Sean O'Malley is now questioning, as I'm sure this is just Sean O'Malley just saying, going like this, like, I wonder, but people are blowing up at him because he's questioning. He's asked the UFC, could you sell a pay-per-view with all women on the card? And and then of course the article goes nowhere because there's obviously not an answer, obviously. But in my opinion,
I'll give you an answer.
Yeah, it's no. It's an obvious no.
You could sell it, but it's not going to sell a lot.
Yeah, it'll be your worst sells in all fucking UFC history. Now, it's kind of putting the women in like a really negative spot in the sense of like, yeah, well, you guys have had 30 years to form, these male prospects to sell a full UFC card. I'm like, in my opinion, it doesn't mean shit if we can look at week after week cards and go, I have no idea who that guy is. I have no idea who that guy is. I have no idea who that guy is, and still watch.
And they still put on a fucking banger of a show, and then you get two fucking women fighters who you don't know, and it's, for the most part, boring. Like, no, that's just not
right.
It's not how that goes.
Yes.
Like, you can grab two dudes off the street and put them in a cage and tell them to fight for money, and you're going to be like, all right, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
If you do it with two women, you're going to be like, that was pretty cringe.
It's definitely coming hot off of him talking about like Amanda Nunes coming off and like the people, the 145 division disappearing. Dandy even saying like it's probably not going to happen anymore. And so exactly. And so it's he's coming off of that saying like with Amanda Nunes gone, there's no point in selling the women's division anymore in his eyes. Now I think that's a little bit of a stretch with Shevchenko and a lot of these fucking murderers down here in the women's division. But it's a point to say that like, you can't be mad at MMA fans when this is the point. I think it's a broad spectrum thing to say, but I think it's a fair argument for you can't be mad at fans when they go, I'm not excited to see these women fight. if you want to make that defense an argument, like they're exciting, they're this. Sit there and tell me you'll pay money for a full pay-per-view card of full all women that you have no idea who they are except for one or two fights.
They would have to like pull Ronda Rousey back. They would have to unretire Amanda. Holly Holmes, like, and they're not going to be fighting each other. They all have to be fighting like some random person who that UFC would have to magically hype up.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
Cyborg.
WWE.
WWE.
Back fucking old ass wrestlers every fucking year, and just watching these old people just barely do anything.
They'd have to wind them back.
They can only do so much.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so like if they try and it doesn't work, then
it puts them in too hard of a decision where they would go. They would have to, if they did that, it would be too obvious for them to go like, yeah, here's the numbers, and this is why we can't support this anymore. But there would be a big outcry, even with the numbers. There'd be a big outcry of like, you can't do that, and so we're pretty much stuck. But I don't think
you can.
That being said, they're never ever gonna do a full women's pay-per-view or anything like that. So
no.
Do that.
It's impossible.
Fucking clip this into like 15 years from now where UFC goes, try me, bitch.
When all the old great fighters transition over into women.
Yeah, right. Speaking of old great fighters, a big concern from the MMA community, Mark Coleman has announced that he's going to be boxing soon. For some reason,
that's what he needs.
Yeah, one of the greatest, like MMA wrestlers of all time, who that's all he could do, and he's like, I don't know, 58 years old now, and now he's gonna box.
He's almost 60. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, my man's need money. He owes somebody in the mob money.
100%. He had a bad night gambling. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things to bring up. Like,
said, give me all the TRT. I'll fucking box.
It's like him and Chris Weidman must be on the same drugs right now, thinking that they can come back and just dominate these divisions in boxing and MMA. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Sit back down in your wheelchair.
Holy shit! Sorry, looking ahead to.
I mean, Chris has a better chance of coming back, but just because he's 10. Chris Weidman. Yeah, because he's 10 years younger. But like you're not gonna dominate. Like you could definitely come back, but you're not gonna be like yeah, you're gonna have the name, but it's not gonna go too great for you most of the time.
Let's move on to talking about Henry Cejudo. Chito Vera confirmed for August 19th, UFC 292, the co-main to Sterling versus O'Malley. Holy shit! I mean, I think it was one of the things where, like, obviously Cejudo, he didn't fully retire in the Octagon, which is great. Now nobody has to be like, I thought you retired, doggy. He didn't fully do it. He definitely wants to keep fighting, and I think this is probably the best fight they could have made for both of these guys in the bantamweight division, for sure. Here's the thing.
Oh, yeah, Sandagon's already fighting.
Whoever wins between Sterling and O'Malley, if Sterling wins, as we all know, he's planning to go up to 145, most likely he'll go up to 145 afterwards, and then it just leaves it wide open for all of them to fucking brawl for all between Cejudo, Vera, Sandhagen, and Sterling's boy. Damn, why is this? I can't remember his name.
Merab.
Yes, Merab. Yeah. So I mean, it's just gonna make it a free for all between them all. It'll get pretty crazy if Sterling wins and then goes up. It's gonna be pretty crazy. I think it's gonna be pretty crazy either way because if O'Malley wins, I mean, first of all, O'Malley as the champion, that's gonna be wild. That's gonna be wild. His confidence is gonna go sky high, dude.
I do not see Sean O'Malley winning.
It's gonna be tough.
If he can survive those first 2 rounds, bro, and Aljamain actually has to strike, which we know damn well he really don't be doing that. He's probably gonna mop his ass up. It's gonna look ugly.
God, what if he first round KOs him? Oh man.
That's even worse.
That's
just like, damn, bro.
I would say I agree with you. His best chances are either that or first round KO. Like, you got to take him out early, or wait him out and hopefully he got, because I don't think they both have good cardio though. It's hard. They both got really good cardio.
Sterling ain't got cardio, bro.
Really? Oh yeah, I guess you're right. He does kind of gas.
I'm telling you, after the second round, it's over
cardio.
for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would.
But standing on his feet cardio, hell no, that shit is fucking out the window.
Here's a big announcement today. This is I think 4 hours. Well, this was 4 hours ago when I read it, so it's probably about like 6 hours ago. Let's just say this: Darnell was right. Darnell was right about this.
What?
Conor didn't meet the USADA deadline for test sample. So as a result, he's unable to fight in 2023 altogether, and his fight with Michael Chandler will probably never ever happen.
What a piece of fuck.
He had all the time in the world to stop using. He was like, I feel fucking great. Why would I do that?
So wait, he didn't show up, or
either way, whether he didn't show up or he just, most likely what I'm assuming from this is that he did show up. He just didn't. He popped is what I'm assuming. He probably popped again, and so because that's the thing. They already knew. He admittedly was like, I'm on steroids. But as it goes now, if you're out, if you're not active, then you have time to weigh off of the steroids, and then they test you, and they give you the deadline to here at this time, at the time of training for the camp for the other fighter, you have to be clean to start, and then we're still going to test you. And he didn't make it. He showed up the day he was like, my piss is hotter than hell. I'm using everything. I'm using what BJ Penn used. I'm using what John Jones used. I'm using what everybody. Tito, Chuck, I'm on all of it.
God damn.
Yep.
Well, I mean, at least the positive side, his rape allegations were dropped due to confirmed evidence that it didn't happen.
Great. Well, I guess take your victories where you can get them. Darnell,
yeah.
Darnell, you want to tell us you told us so, or you want to get that out, or?
Oh no, bro! I don't ever have to say I told you so. It's always just to know that I was right. It's like, all right, that's cool enough, man.
Yeah, go ahead, say it.
Nah.
Say it. No, that's okay.
That's okay. It's fine. Yeah.
No. See, this is why it's better, because now it's like you're expecting it, but you're not gonna get it. It's like,
yeah. Well, I wonder. I'm. Clearly they're for sure. Michael Chandler's going to stay training. They're for sure going to give him a replacement for sure. He was just quoted. He did an AMA. He was on a flight. He asked somebody somebody asked him who's the heaviest hitter he ever went up against, and it was Dustin Poirier. He said, "Pretty cool."
Man, when Dustin pulls them shorts up like an old man,
you don't want it. You don't want it.
Them bombs coming.
So although Conor looks jacked and juiced, and
juiced.
The Throwing Hands team was really sad. We were planning. We watched an episode of Tough. We haven't been keeping up, but we were planning on watching more. And now there's no point really. Who gives a fuck? I mean, yes, for the up and coming fighters for sure, but I mean, dude, the coaches. I mean, it's happened season after season now. One of the biggest things about Tough was that the coaches fought at the end, and now it's like it doesn't matter anymore. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
Patrick Cotier and fucking some other no-name guy, Canada and Australia, they fought. There was no ranking involved. There was no title shot. They just fought because they were on Tough together. Fucking Jens Pulver fought BJ Penn or whatever, not for a title or for a ranking, because they were on Tough together. Make that it made it 10 times more exciting when the coaches were for sure going to fight, because they were training and cutting weight next to the team.
The only thing.
Go ahead.
I have an example of another time it didn't happen. Again, it was Conor.
Oh yeah, Conor and Uriah.
You really want to see Uriah Faber not cut weight and wrestle the fuck out of him? I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Yeah, that was annoying.
I mean, and again, at that, the only thing that I can see is
did he have the belt then? Oh,
Conor,
never mind. Yeah, never mind.
The only thing that I can see is that Dana's like, well, we're just gonna push it off. Like they're gonna postpone it, and then they're gonna fuck up another fight card by making that the main attraction, and then a bunch of fights are gonna get re-scrambled.
We'll have to see. The whole thing of it saying like it'll never happen again was like definitely an article assumption. It could definitely be where Dana wants to post it off, because to the point, a lot of the times they don't fight. Most of the time they don't fight on the same card anymore anyway, so they could push it up, but it's essentially, now that Conor's fucked up, they're going to leave it up to Chandler for the most part, because he's the one who's participating. He's up to date. He's in camp. So you can't fuck over the other fighter like that and just say, well, Conor's not, he's not even legally able to do this right now. So I make the decision. So it's going to be a little weird, but for sure something's going to happen. Either they're going to replace him or they're going to postpone it. You're right. What do you guys think of the interaction between Jones and Ngannou? Pretty pointless, right? But pretty cool.
Yeah, I forget that John coaches on the side every now and then.
Yeah, he's a great coach. You can take this down, by the way.
I had zero idea that he was going to be, or that he coaches anything besides like drug use.
He's yeah, right.
Like women beating.
He learned from the best, BJ Penn. He's a great coach. I mean, the clips of him from Tough from the season 16 that he was on. I mean, you don't need to see anything from like him like on a personal stance of like him in the gyms or anything. You just know that from that alone, great coach. I mean, he was coached by the best. Fucking the Wink and Jackson. That's incredible. One of the best boxing coaches and one of the best MMA coaches of all time. Then he learned how to coach from them. I mean, come on. Yeah, John. I explained it as like some people might. I don't know how you guys would see it. I feel like some people might see it as cringe, like him kind of getting in this verbal debate with Ngannou. But I very much thought it was pretty cool. I like the whole like I've always been king. I've been king since day one. I'm always gonna be king. And then the shit talk of like I needed to get big enough to beat your ass. Ngannou's slick with it. He's pretty slick with it.
Ngannou was like it took you 3 years.
That's a pretty long time. The 3 years well spent is what he said to him. He's like 3 years well spent. It's good. But John doesn't back down. I mean, it was a pretty witty back and forth. I got to give him that. But the thing is like they said, who knows if it's gonna happen? Probably not.
Well, I mean, isn't Dana in talks with fucking what's his name?
Tyson Fury.
And John Jones.
Yeah, but Dana's got a bad taste in his mouth with Ngannou. It's gonna be a long time before he sees money that he can make that'll make it worth him wanting to work with Ngannou.
I mean, after that video, and definitely after the Tyson fight, Ngannou's going to say some shit, and it's going to stir up a whole bunch of social media, which is going to draw eyes, which Dana's going to go, oh yeah, I'm behind John Jones 100%. I'll sign the contract right now for him to beat the shit out of Ngannou.
We'll see. We'll see what those numbers bring. We'll see. Let's move over to some street shenanigans. That's right, everybody. Cool. Another week with Street Shenanigans, your favorite segment on your favorite MMA comedy podcast. We, yet again, go over the craziness, the bullshit, and the Octagon control from the streets themselves, all around the world, all around you. These are a couple guys who know about fighting, so we tell you our opinions on what should have happened, what should be going down, should these people have fucked around and found out or not. The most important thing, Ian, you mind if I take this one? I'll take this one.
Joe, go ahead and tell YouTube.
YouTube, they're fine. Everybody in these videos are just fine. We've
the camera.
Oh, sorry. We've taken their addresses down ourselves. We stalked them afterwards and asked them personally. Made them very uncomfortable when we did it, but we asked them, and they are in fact okay. So we did our research. It's all good. Everybody here is safe. Nobody's been injured or harmed. It's all for science. Okay, so our first fight, Ian actually sent this in. A great. I mean, honestly, this is exactly what you go to learn jiu-jitsu for if you're trying to learn for self-defense. This is exactly what you want to happen. You want some guy like Waka Flocka looking to come at you, and then you get to practice your jiu-jitsu.
Also twice your size.
Yeah. This guy was quoted running in saying, Flocka! Sure. Right before he passes out, he says, Brick Squad. Ian, go ahead. Show him.
Brick Squad.
Good right hand. Good right hand by Waka Flocka Flame.
Oh, did it just freeze?
No, you paused it, yeah.
Oh.
In on the single. Deep on the single.
I tried to tell you, bro. He trains every single day.
That would hurt the shit out of my knees, that takedown, by the way.
I'm going to let him go, okay?
Talking his way through. He's right next to a jiu-jitsu school. What? I just realized that.
Jiu-jitsu.
He's out.
Listen to this. Listen to him.
I tried to tell him it's right here.
We're gonna take our shit and leave.
Back away from my friend.
Back away from my friend. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Coffined. Ian, pause it. I mean, yeah, just be actually.
I don't think he was actually out.
I'm pretty sure he went out.
Who straightens out like that?
A lot of people. I straightened out when I got choked out. What are you talking about? A lot of people straighten out when they. Yes, I did. Oh, you know, you were right. They straightened you. Straightened me out.
You.
Yeah.
See, he went like you were like that.
Right.
When you're out, I don't know.
He might have came to. He might have came to right there, but just didn't want to fucking come up. But I'm telling. I mean, he's out.
I think he was on drugs.
Probably. I don't know.
Nah, that man is out of here.
Like you see those self-made jorts.
Self-made jorts. What does Auntie make them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Good. I like the guy who took him down. He had one follow-up strike, but he just realized, dude, I'm so much better at grappling than this guy. Like, I'm just gonna grapple him. And it's over. He's like, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Okay, I like the guy's talk through as well. He's like a fucking instructor. He's an instructor calming everybody else down around. What I don't like is the people reacting around him where he's like, he's explaining everything, and they're like, he tapped. I'm like, first of all, he didn't tap at all. He hasn't tapped. Not once.
Yeah. Like, also, this is a street fight.
All right, let's move on to our next one here. I forgot
what
that this is.
Fuck am I looking at?
Well, Darnell.
Ronald McDonald.
He's going for a fucking ride. Jesus.
Let's see it here. Boom! This is one of the most brutal indie wrestling shits I've ever seen, dude. Ronald McDonald don't play. He takes some bumps.
Love the fucking light beams.
Woo! The cutter. Oh, missing with the.
Oh.
What did he zap him with? What the hell was that? Oh, was that a weed whacker?
That was a weed whacker.
Oh,
yeah.
hell no. Two light bulbs.
And a giant pane of glass.
Look at this. Look. Oh my. This is insane.
Oh, he's. Oh,
guys, if you're wondering for us to break down what you're supposed to be doing here, I have no idea what the hell to do here.
Leave.
Run. Oh my God. No. No. Not this way. Not this way. Somebody stop him. Oh.
All right, that's what I was waiting for. A Canadian destroyer. There we go.
That's one of the most devastating moves of all time. And then one bulb to the head. One fluorescent bulb to the head. Jeez. But yeah. One to end it all. Yeah, that was holy shit, man. I mean, that was insane.
I wonder how much you got paid for all that.
Not a lot, bud.
200
200,
and a fucking pack to lunch, bro.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. You are so not far off. I mean,
the weed whacker was a bit much.
A 20-piece nugget.
It says Supervillain Deathmatch is the name of this Instagram. I mean, it's Ronald McDonald versus who? I mean, I don't.
Seriously, who is this supervillain?
I mean, this is exciting, but like, but this is what could I? This is a fight that breaks out on a construction site, is what it looks like, and fucking horrible. This is bad. Boom. Damn. I mean, I don't give a fuck how fake the glass is. That shit would hurt. That's horrible. There's no way. There's no way that guy got up after that. That guy's fake. That's crazy. He's an alien. All right. Here's the thing. What's interesting about this fight is how fast a woman can become hittable when the right thing comes into play. I.e.,
wait, what do you mean how fast? They're all hittable.
Everybody's hittable, but when you have a knife in your hand, you become the #1 priority to hit. Go ahead and play it. I'll describe a little bit more what's going on here. What I'm breaking down. So, you can see here, there's a fight going on. These people are trying to record the fight anyway. This bitch is swinging around a knife. Yeah. So, although the people would love to record this street fight that's going on, they are not going to break from this bitch who's running at people with a knife. She hasn't hit anybody yet. She hasn't hit anybody, but she's threatening. She's like, I'll do it. I swear I'll do it. She's going crazy. Bam! Savior. Not all heroes wear capes.
Maybe I'm pretty sure that's a fucking dude.
Dude, very well could be.
Which is OD.
I mean,
so again, the danger is
to the guy who took her down.
Yeah, because what does anybody do? It's like, it's scary. She has a knife. You know, you don't want to hit the woman or whoever this is. And but this guy, he knows. He's like, look, I don't care who you are, man, female, kid, trans, whoever. Boom, you pull a knife, I'm hitting you with the flying knee. I watched Jorge Masvidal. I know what to do.
Flying knee?
I think he more hit her with the elbow, but
I thought he just kind of like
he just did some weird cowboy shit.
Yeah, he just kind of like jumped on her. Yeah.
In the description, it says like when people describe, like in the title, I think it says like savior with a flying knee or something like that. But you know, here it goes. Here it comes. I feel like he came in for the flying, but then no, you're right. He just kind of like tackles her.
He pushed her, bro. He pushed her on the ground.
But why is she
drunk enough for that? Put her out.
I see. Okay, it makes sense.
That or straight up acting, because then everyone freaks out when a girl gets hurt. So
you're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Those were probably some of my favorite street shenanigans we've ever gone over. That was really fun.
I would have stepped on her balls.
Ball stop until she says yes, daddy, and then you're like, oh, okay, hold on now. Well, I'll tell you what then. That's the end of this episode. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, and make sure you follow us on our social medias. Too soon. I appreciate you for doing that. But yeah, make sure you. God damn it. Follow us on our social medias, SuperSour JIR. Follow Darnell at Snuggy Blanks _ and follow us on Twitch as well. That'll also be there. And you can see all the show notes down below. If you're curious about anything, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, ding-a-ding-a-ding, ring that bell, and let's boost these rookie numbers up, baby boy. Let's get us out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Sorry, boys, I just woke up from a mean nap.
I love it. Please, I love it. That's probably one of my favorite ones ever. I'm gonna make sure I clip that into the beginning of the intro when we make a new intro. All right, boys. See you next week. Until next time, we are out of here.
Welcome to Throwing Hands.
You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park, the ponytail.
My balls was hot.